Typically, if I want to go check out some John Cerasani content, I got to go over to Instagram, but no.
Yes.
He is posting on his YouTube now.
Yes, much like many of the greats are doing these days. He's making longer form videos. He said,
Okay.
what if I just sit down in front of the camera and I just vamp for however long? maybe then I'll start reeling in the money on YouTube.
Yeah, well, let's see what he has to say. I'm excited about, anytime John Cerasani's talking, I'm listening.
All right.
Woke up with this on my mind. Wasn't going to make a long form video today, but screw it. I'm going to take the next 4 minutes to share this with you because I think it's going to help you.
There's 11 minutes.
And that's the ability and the importance.
Who's counting?
To adapt for opportunities of advancement, but at the same time, keeping it real and keeping your true self. I did it in the business world when I sold my company, and I did it, and it's happening now in this casino influencer space. And let me explain that to you. How do you be a trailblazer like me and still adapt
and humble, right? All the things that I am
to your environment while you're still being that trailblazer and being yourself, being different than everybody. Okay? Look at these other casino influencers out there, guys, who acts like me out there. I'm my own journey, okay? And people like me. A lot of people don't like me, and trust me, I understand. But a lot of people like me because I keep it real and I'm myself.
So I don't know what casino influencers I should be comparing him to, Mike. I wasn't even familiar with this category.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's great that he has the confidence. This is the level of confidence that he has to go, this is why people like me. I mean, a lot of people don't like me, but like the ones that do.
Yeah, right.
And if I can go back just to the beginning, just to address the fact that this is a thing, because we do this show, maybe I see a lot more of it, but it's a trend on all social media. For whatever reason, people point a camera in their own face and say, all right, guys, I wasn't going to make this video, but I figured, fuck it. Here it goes. That's how so many videos on the internet start. Why?
Yeah.
What favor are you doing us?
Don't act reluctant. You obviously set up the lighting and everything. You got everything just right. You have a script, some bullet points in front of you.
Begrudgingly and against my will, I'm going to tell you how great I am and that I'm a trailblazer. I thought, all right, fine. Today's the day I tell you how awesome I am.
Tukey says that Bretsky is a great gambling streamer. See, I don't know about these, but he's like a casino influencer. I don't know if Bretsky is. I don't follow this kind of stuff. I like to gamble, but watching other people gamble is a waste of everyone's time.
Well, I guess a lot of the other casino streamers don't call the people watching you losers.
Yeah,
they're not like, oh, you're a joke and you'll never have any money and I have a waterfall. Like the other people are like more relatable, I think, somehow.
I love his, because I didn't realize he thought himself as a casino influencer, but now that I know this about him, I'm understanding that content he was putting out where he was like, guys, I was down 50 G's at blackjack last night. Oh, yeah, so I came back and I gambled a bunch more and now I'm only down 5 G's.
And he's been doing it a lot more. There was one video recently where he's like, I get down in the hole a lot, sometimes like 100, 150,000, but I never leave until I win back at least like 15K. And it's like, well, there's no way that works every time. It's just the odds.
Correct. Yeah. Past performance has nothing to do with it. It's like, well, I lost so many times in a row. I'm definitely going to win now. Not necessarily. No, it's not it. Also, I have to point out, this guy wears his own merchandise more than Patrick Melton. Every fucking video, he's got a not Gen Pop or 200% raise.
Oh, well, it's very popular with the kids, which we'll hear about. So there's a reason he's wearing it.
That's a good point. All right, let's see what else he has to say here.
Well, I find myself in a similar situation right now, guys, and I'm working with the biggest casinos in the world, okay? And, there's certain casinos out there, MGM, Caesars. You think they want me on there swearing and cussing and all that stuff? Shoot, man. About 8 months ago, frickin' El Cortez, I saw them online.
I like he's talking about swearing. He goes, shoot, man, frickin' this guy. As soon as he brought up swearing, all of a sudden he's rated G.
And he's doing well. He's like, I'll never change, but gosh darn it.
Right, yeah, right. You can't change me.
Everybody posting there, so I'm like, I'm gonna go in there and do a couple hands and film it. They got back to me and said they didn't want me to come in there because I swear too much and they're family-owned property. I've asked other people about this. They think that maybe just they didn't want my action or I'm just too much of an alpha for the environment of the people I'd have to work with there. But
what a fucking delusional narcissist this guy is. Unbelievable.
You don't think that's the case?
You know what it is? I'm actually intimidating the MGM with how awesome I am.
You don't think the MGM and Caesars held a meeting and they're like, we got to keep this Sarasani guy out of here. He's too awesome.
Yes. I know it's cutting edge. That's what we should be doing, but I'm just not ready for it yet.
Yeah. But do me a favor. When you guys are in Vegas for Hackamania, keep an eye out for how many alpha douchebags you see out there.
Oh, I'll create a list. I'm sure there'll be a log
Keep
line.
a counter. Maybe it's 0. I don't know. They probably ban them.
I'll be with Melted, so there'll be at least one.
Sure.
okay, shoot. That put it on my radar a little bit. But I didn't adapt to any change because I was already filming in other places. I'm not going to like conform to go be at El Cortez. And this is nothing negative for El Cortez, but their lane, you know, they're a smaller casino on Fremont Street. It's not the freaking Wynn, okay? So it's not like, all right, I'm not going to adapt for them. And by the way, they didn't even give me the option to. They just told me they didn't want me there, but it was because of that.
What are these deals this guy thinks he has? Everyone's just like, can you please leave our casino now, sir?
I have to advise my buddy John to not go long form because in these longer videos, he rambles enough that he just confesses things.
Right.
He's like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to conform to what they want. And they made it pretty clear they didn't want me anyways. But dadgummit, I said, what in tarnation do you want me to conform for? I'm not going to change how I friggin' talk.
Well, it's hilarious too because he's acting like, and in this video, more so than what we heard, he's acting like he's having these high-level conversations with these casinos about being an influencer representing their casino. When reality is, security just goes, "Yeah, buddy, turn off the phone." You know, the pit boss comes over and just goes, "Yeah, you got to stop live streaming from the table."
Right.
That's basically what it is because we've seen him do this shit. He's annoying. He's obnoxious. He's yelling, and they're probably just like, "All right, we don't need this shit here, man."
They don't want a loud asshole there.
Right.
It's not about him out alphaing the fucking pit bosses.
Probably not. But he even says on there, he goes, guys, it's all about just being yourself. I'm not going to change who I am. You know, the number one reason why most people fail? Because they're being themselves. Be better. Do better than that.
But that's his whole message. Is
I
like,
know.
change who you are.
It's right. So it's so stupid. Yeah, he makes fun of everyone who's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because they're working 9 to 5 and they're working for the man. And he's like, you guys are idiots. You got to get out of the rat race. And then he sits there and he goes, guys, I'm just myself, man. That's the moral of the story.
There's that hypocrisy. There's that angle of hypocrisy. But then there's also him going, like, I'm not going to conform to what anyone wants me to be. These people say I can't swear. They can go to heck, quite frankly.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he's actively
They're being a bunch of silly billies over there.
He's actively not swearing.
Yes.
He's literally changed how he spoke so he can get back into these casinos.
I thought I was listening to Opie for a second there.
Balance. You don't want to be a sheep following everyone else. You know, if you look at the YouTube comments that I get, a lot of people are telling me to act more like this guy or more like that guy, and then I go look at their damn pages and I'm like, oh my God. Good for them that they act like, oh shucks, we'll get them next time, buddy.
You're doing that.
Let's play baccarat and fold the cards really slow. Hey, you guys see this? You see this?
Honestly, and I hate to keep giving everyone the same idea here, but he should just do a reaction channel. I don't know what he's talking about. I assume these things exist that he's talking about.
Sure.
Why not play a clip of that and then goof on these guys for being so lame? That would be fun.
I think he's worried his commentary is too biting. Because when you hear him go at someone, there are such owns and burns as, okay, little buddy. And people can't recover from that. Like,
oh my gosh. If you ever told me that I was Gen Pop, I don't know.
Oh, you like making fun of me, do you, little buddy? And it's like, oh, ouch.
God.
Damn it, John.
Let's play Huff and Puff. And guys, I'm not making fun. Yes, I'm making fun, but I'm not making fun of the people. That's them. That's the environment they're in, and then they have a following that's been built around that. Some of them with a much bigger following than me.
I'm not making fun of the
them,
people.
man.
I'm just
That's
making
not
fun of
what
their
we-
personalities.
Yeah, no, I'm specifically repeating things that they would say in the way they would say it, and then clowning them for it. Okay, I guess I was making fun of them actually. Now I think about it,
Guys, this is how I see Carl. Hey, I'm a big gay retard. I'm Carl. Now, what are you guys? Why are you saying that that's me making fun of him? That's just how I perceive Carl.
Fucking Tukey is such a gambling addict. He's in there saying Huff and Puff is a slot machine.
Oh, it's a
know
real
that.
thing. I thought it was his lack of improving.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a real thing.
Oh, okay.
And I guess that Tukey's gonna be the next competition because he says I plan on live streaming gambling with Dr. Steve in Vegas. He's gonna be a casino influencer.
Don't
it
get
turns
Dr.
out.
Steve wrapped up into whatever degeneracy you're into, Tukey. He's a good man.
We are, though. That's not what we do. Okay? But now here I am talking to Aria, talking to Caesar's Palace about these big rollouts. Caesar's Palace doesn't have live streams, dude. They let Exposed do it, but it was under different circumstances.
Every time, everything he says
Yeah.
is like, it's a definitive, like, no one does this. And then he's like, well, I mean, except for these situations,
But he's in conversations with Aria and these different places. He's gonna be their social media influencer guy. He's gonna represent the casino.
Caesars needs him. What,
No,
like, Caesars, I believe, is the sponsor of the Superdome. I think that's where the Super Bowl is played. And I'm pretty sure Goodell was like, if you put Cerasani's name on here, a lot more people will recognize it. They'll understand what it means.
I'm sorry, I have to take a step back because we've been following John Cerasani for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I remember very vividly when the guy said, "Hey, guess what, schmucks? I started the company, sold it. I never have to work again. I'm retired, and I have all this money and a pool and a waterfall in my bathroom." Now, just from my observations, let me tell you all of the jobs this guy has. This retired guy who doesn't have to work ever again.
Yeah.
He's a podcaster.
Yep.
He's a business consultant.
Yep.
He's a game show host.
True.
He's a casino influencer, I just found out.
Correct.
Social media influencer, an author.
Yes.
He sells merchandise.
I was worried you might have forgotten about that one because
I might have missed some. I know he sells merchandise. He's constantly talking about his merch store.
Yeah.
What am I missing here? Anything else? He's got more jobs than me.
he's a dad, the most important job in the world.
He's barely a dad, but that does that is a good segue into this last clip that we have here, talking about how cool he is as a father.
2 teenage kids, man. What if I would have just been the regular dad in the suburbs? Like my kids probably were
Don't make
hoping
me
I would
think
be.
of that world.
Well, not everyone's
Which suburb specifically, though? I mean,
Schaumburg.
of course, Schaumburg.
Like some loser.
Imagine being a loser in Schaumburg, those other Schaumburgers.
cup of tea, not everyone's cup of tea. And then it catches, you know, my kid goes to a school that has a bunch of damn students. They don't all know each other. It's a huge school. I think they got like 4,000 kids there. And tells me that people will be walking down the hall and some stranger will yell, "Gen Pop Jake." So, in a good way, an endearing way. So he
I don't know about that. It's funny you had to put that disclaimer in there.
Hey, your dad's the retard with the lisp on the internet, right?
How is this? Also, he always has a tan marks around his eyes because he's wearing sunglasses all the time, which is also not a great look. But how the fuck does anyone know what his son looks like in school and they're yelling out Gen Pop Jake to him?
His kid's probably wearing the merch too.
Okay, good point.
He wants everyone to notice, you know, when your dad's John Cerasani, you kind of got to rock the merch.
They're definitely clowning his son, and I bet his son is in on it. That would be my guess.
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
Yep.
But do you hear the way like he spins history where he's like, I took a real gamble. I gambled on myself. I didn't know if it would work being a social media influencer, but that's not what happened. He made millions off of some company that he sold, right?
Correct. Yes.
So that he would have made his money no matter what. He's probably losing money in this lifestyle because we
Yes.
know he didn't sell any of those pamphlets.
Yeah, he's definitely losing money. He's investing in Bert Kreischer's vodka. He's spending money to meet
gambling
people.
crazy.
Gambling all the time. Yes.
He thinks it's funny. My daughter and all her friends are watching my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's my own path that I went on, and it worked.
Now, this is giving me some serious Stuttering John vibes here. This territory is like, my daughter and her friends are watching this. I mean, fast forward, we're going to be able to watch his daughter talking about what a loser he is. She's going to have her own social media.
You don't think in the sorority they're all fighting over like, no, John would want to fuck me. Like he would think I'm hotter.
When's your dad visiting our house? It better not be when I'm on my period. No, I don't think that at all, Mike. I think it's embarrassing. I think that these kids
their notebooks all say Mrs. Cerasani.
I think they'd be wildly embarrassed, Mrs. Sarasani. All right, enough John Cerasani. Well, that's interesting to know that he's putting his hat in the ring of casino influencer, and according to Tukey in the chat, he knows all these guys. He follows all this stuff.
Yes, and similar to Tom Myers kind of mastered it, but some other people I've noticed recently have said like, oh, well, you can make money if you just go long form on YouTube. And I've literally heard John Cerasani say like, oh, I'm noticing like I get more engagement from these longer videos. So it's a matter of time before he's live streaming being like, oh, well, you sent me $5 to insult me like that. So I'm fine with it.
It's only a matter of time before he's on MLC. As soon as this gets back to Kevin, he's going to be invited out as a guest, and then Chad's.
Yeah, I know Lady K and the fat fuck he's with on that show.
Yeah, right.
Go to blindmike.com for Blind Mike, or go to whoarethese.com for KARL, and make sure you subscribe to both channels, or there will be no banter.